Is it time for an idle arc? Don't forget about it. Let's look at these new cards. Melodius. We'll get all that musical energy out through some cards. How about that? We got Pendulum Melodius cards. Did they have, I think they have like a couple maybe? So Melodius as an archetype is interesting. It hasn't really done anything except for in Duel Links where it's actually fairly good. I don't remember them having a pendulum. A lot of the Arc V card or like Arc V archetypes have a pendulum to them. So let's see what these do though. So they have level 4 Light Fairy, sure, it's Melodious Songstress. You can only use the refrain the Melodious Songstress specifically. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card once per turn. You can target one Melodious fusion monster you control, send one Melodious monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to the sent monster's level times 200 until the end of this turn. Okay. I mean, Foolish Burial's a Melodious monster, but you have to control a fusion monster to do that. And it gains attack, that's like fine, I guess. It's not even a quick effect. Ugh. Okay. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Melodious monster from your deck to your hand, except for Refrain. That's good. If a Melodious fusion monster is special summoned from their to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. Oh, that's a lot better. And it's a 1 scale, and I'm looking at this next one up here is a 9 scale. Okay, alright. Yeah, these are a lot better than what Okay, alright, this one's that's level 4, this one's level 5. Couplet, the Melodious Songstress. Got some bad stats, but that's fine. You can only use the second pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. You cannot pendulum summon monsters except for light monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Alright, so it's preventing you from like doing this in the big like piles. That's good. You control no face-up monsters. Other Melodious monsters, you can add a Melodious spell trap from your deck to your hand. That's very nice. And then if this card is added to your hand except by normal draw, you can reveal it. Special summon one level 4 level lower Melodious monster from your hand or graveyard. And it can be added off of the effect of Refrain to do so. If a Melodious fusion monster is special summoned to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck, you can place this card in your Pendulum Zone. These are crazy. These two cards here are insane, but Melodius is the kind of deck where you're going to need some insane support to actually make the deck work. So I'm not sure if this actually makes the deck good, is the thing. Alright, we got a couple new fusions, it looks like. Spectacular Bach, the Melodious Maestra, or Baka, the Melodious Maestra. So the Melodious Maestras are the fusion monsters. Or like the big leveled ones as well, I think, also have Maestra in their names. Like the level 7 stuff. Alright, you can only use the first and third effects of this card name once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can special summon a Melodious monster from your deck. That's really good. That's really good. Good extender. Your Melodious fusion monster's activated effects cannot be negated, and it only requires 2 Melodious monsters. Cannot be negated while you control this fusion monster. Or fusion summon card, I should say. Ooh, interesting. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Melodious monster in your graveyard, except for Baka, the Melodious Maestra, special summon in defense position. Wow. This is really an extender. I mean, obviously it has an effect that's pretty good on field too, where that makes it so your activated effects cannot be negated while you control this fusion summon card. But on special summon, it special summons from deck, and then when sent to the grave, it can special summon from grave. So it really lets you, once you fusion summon this card, summon from deck, and then fusion this off to summon from grave. That's pretty good. Alright, Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Floral Song Goddess. Alright, so it requires a Melodious Maestra and 2 Melodious monsters. That's a lot of material going into this one. They already have a couple of fusion monsters, so this could be fine. Especially with this one basically like saying, hey, make the big one. 2000 attack. Okay, alright. You'll use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Quick effect, you banish any number of Melodious monsters you control until the end phase. Then you can return up to that many face-up cards your opponent controls to the hand. And then so they all come back in the end phase. So that's interesting. It's got like a gigantic bounce. but it only bounces face-up cards. If this face-up fusion summoned card is in its owner's control, leaves the field by your opponent effect, I assume, or by your opponent's action or something, you can special summon one Melodius monster from your deck or extra deck except for this card's name. Okay. So it's got a decent float effect. Oh, wait, that's 2,800, not 2,000. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, does this not have the thing to make it big or anything? No, it does. It's just already big, and it has a big bounce. That's a quick effect, can be used at any on either turn. That's not bad. It's got a lot going into it, but it's not hard to get into it with Bach and these two right here, these two pendulum cards, and that one grabs a spell, and I assume that this is going to be a fusion spell. Here he is, yeah, Melodius Concerto. Use the first and second effects once per turn. Fusion summon the one fairy fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from hand, field, or pendulum zone as material. Or pendulum zone. Wow, so them putting themselves back in the pendulum scales is also. It also gives you fusion material. It's not just that they give you the ability to pendulum scale. That is a once per turn though, so whatever you fusion summon won't be able to put them back unless you've already placed them that turn, in which case they put themselves back. That's really crazy. If Melodius fusion monster at the graveyard, this card is here. Even during the damage step, you can place this card on the bottom of the deck, draw one card. So it recycles itself and then draws a card, and you can even do this like when they're sent for a fusion summon. So I think there's a very clear line you're supposed to be going here. I don't even remember most of what the Melodius cards do, so I don't remember what the normal ones do. I know some of them are pretty strong, but like just these cards alone make a very powerful like setup. Like this one can search couplet, refrain can search couplet, couplet can then search the Concerto. You can fusion for Maestra, and then Maestra will summon from deck, and then you can fusion with Maestra, hopefully into this. You have to have a second Melodius monster somewhere to go into that. So we're playing like one other, like literally one other Melodius monster is all you need to go into this guy. And there's also other Melodius fusion monsters you could go into that are also have they're like okay, they've done well in Duel Links, but that's that's Duel Links. And then this card is like a pretty decent card with its like big giant bounce, and then the ability to float into another one. But is it enough? I don't know that it's enough. That's like a really oh yeah, and then once this goes to the grave, it also summons back another one, and then you can continue extending from there perhaps. But yeah, I don't know if this is enough, but it's certainly good. It's definitely good. This is like really solid support. It's just like is the archetype like good enough to support to like get this to where it needs to be. What I find interesting is that none of this locks you. Like nothing in here locks you except for the pendulum scale locking you into specifically only pendulum summoning light monsters. So that's barely a lock. So and then this also has another special summon on it too. Yeah, from hand or grave when it's added by the effect of refrain. So it works well as recovery as well. Or even just extension. Just summoning out another one. And I think some of them also have like on summon effects if I remember correctly. Like already. So wow. I mean this like genuinely looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty interested in this, actually. I'm gonna hold up. Let's real quick. Okay, I've pulled up the Melodius, like entire Melodius archetype here on the Yu-Gi-Oh database. We can go through them here and see if any of these like work really well. I forgot they have a Link monster. So, while this special summon card is on the field, Melodius monsters you control cannot be targeted by card effects or destroy a battle. That's not really going to see any play in this, probably. Let's see. Bloom Diva requires a Maestra and a Melodius. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. You can battle damage from cards involving this card. This card battles a special summon monster. After damage, calculate inflict damage equal to the difference between the original attack with that opponent's monster and this card. And if you do destroy that opponent's monster, that's like, okay, that might come up. If this card is linked summon, you can discard one card, special summon 2 Melodius monsters with different levels from your deck to your zones this card points to in defense position. You can't special summon monsters to turn you activate this effect, except Melodius monsters. You can only use this effect of Bloom Harmonist, the Melodius Composer, once per turn. If a Melodius monster this card points to attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects at the end of the damage step. Whoa, okay. This link to is insane. Oh, wow, this might actually be good. What the fuck? Alright, Bloom Prima, Melodius Maestra, and one or more Melodius monsters gains 300 attack for each fusion material for its fusion summon. Make a second attack during the battle phase of the fusion summon card sent to the graveyard. You can target one Melodius monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Sure. That one's not gonna see much play, I don't think. Maybe as an extender, maybe. If you control a Melodius monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can special summon once per turn this way. Once per turn, you can target one Melodius monster you control, change its battle position. Okay. That's nothing. Except for the fact that it can special summon itself from hand, so it is an extender, so we might play it just for that. Special summon Melodius monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card will special summon all fairy type monsters you control, gain 300 attack. No. Bad trap card. Unaffected by spell traps, can make a second attack during the battle phase. Actually, unaffected by spell traps, you might play this. Mozart, the Melodius Maestra, is one of those high level ones I was talking about. If you special summon a light fairy monster from your hand, that's an extender. You could not special summon other monsters to turn you activate this effect, except for light monsters. So if we summon this off of Melodius Maestra, we can use it as an extender for sure. Opera, the Melodius Diva, cannot attack the turn as normal summon if it plays up. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon, you can activate this effect for this turn. Melodius monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Who cares about that? Alright, Schuberta. This card requires just 2 Melodius monsters. During either player's turn, you can target up to 3 cards in the graveyard, banish them. If you do, this card gains 200 attack for each. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. That's like, okay. I could see that being useful as like a turn 1 setup. Alright, Score, the Melodius Diva. During damage calc, if a Melodius monster you control battles a monster, you can hit the card from the hand in the grave, change the monster's attack and defense to 0 until the end of the turn. I forgot they have an honest. They have like a damage step effect. Oh, that could be very useful. Wow. This card can be treated as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a fairy monster. After this card is special summoned to your side of the field, you can normal summon 1 Melodius monster during your main phase of turn addition to your normal summoner set. So this is something you might summon off of the Link monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 light fairy monster to your graveyard, add it to your hand. You cannot activate light and light effects during this turn. You activate this effect. That's not going to be played. If your opponent controls a monster, you control no monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. No, I don't think so. This card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. You can special summon 1 Melodius monster from the deck. Okay. Sonata, you control a Melodius monster. You can special summon this card from your hand. While the special summon card is on the field, all fairy type monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Okay, maybe you play this one over the other one. And then Soprano, the Melodius Songstress. When this card is special summoned, you can target 1 Melodius monster in your graveyard except for Soprano, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect as Soprano once per turn. Once per turn, you can fusion summon 1 Melodius fusion monster from your extra deck using monster you control as fusion materials, including this card. Okay, this one gets played for sure. You probably summon this off of the Link monster. And then Tam Tam, the Melodius Diva. If this card is special summoned while you control Melodius monster, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material for fusion summon, you can target 1 Melodius monster you control. It loses 500 attack. And if it does, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. You're also playing this. You're playing this. It searches polymerization. That's fine if you summon off of the Link 1 or the Link 2. I mean, you can search polymerization. But more importantly, this is a time card. This card lets you win in time. Wow. Okay, yeah, with all that context, I actually think this might be good. Wow, I was not expecting to say that. I like came into this being like, I get to make fun of Melodius for being a Duel Links deck. That's like not good unless you play in Duel Links. But goddamn, these are pushed. These new support cards are pushed to hell, and they already had some push support cards like that Link 2. I'm genuinely impressed by this. Well, color me shocked. I'll write a composition about this immediately. And meanwhile, I'll see ya in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching another video. Why don't you give it a like, share it around, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for notifications. You know, the YouTube stuff. You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more content. I got content plenty for ya. You can also support the channel by giving me money. You have a Patreon. If you join the Patreon, you can show up in the credits over here. I would really appreciate that. You could also use my TCG Player affiliate link to get any singles, sealed product, or accessories you want, all to supporting the channel at the same time. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye now!